here. I've been here today, not talking about the architecture, but as a family matter, because I married to the families of Portuguese descendants. So, in this today in the lecture today, so I would talk about the Kudichin community, which is our Luso descendants community in Bangkok. So because I'm just here in the first time to participate in APCC conference, so I would love to introduce you about the big backgrounds of the Portuguese in Thailand a little bit, and talk about how the Portuguese become one part of the history of Thailand 300 years ago. Starting from this map, I think everyone is very familiar with this. I have to say that pepper is our fortune that we all together sitting here because that's the ambitions that Portuguese try to come to pick up the pepper and spice in this area because at the beginnings all the pepper has passed through the Silk Road and the price to go to Europe is very high because it passed through the middleman. So that's why all of the ships just try to come here to get a pepper, and of course we know that pepper make all the food is good. Starting in Ayutthaya period, 350 years ago in Thailand, this is the map, very old map of the very old capitals of Thailand. It's called Ayutthaya, and you see the shape of the city is surrounded by the river and all the fort that surrounded the cities. But it means if you notice at the bottom of the map, there's three churches down south. So that's the place that Portuguese settlements has been settled in the capitals of Thailand at that time. There's two churches. One, the big ones on the bottom right of your screen is we call it Saint Dominic. We still have that church, but only the foundation exists in the city of Ayutthaya at the moment, and we preserve all the Portuguese community in that area, and in Thailand we call that a Portuguese village. And the other ones, the smaller one is St. Paul, where we don't find that anymore in the historical evidence. The other ones in the bottom, in the middle, is belong to French. It's not Portuguese. I mean, after Ayutthaya has been defeated by the enemies, all the cities have been destroyed, and the king at that time has been flee into the east part of Thailand with some hundreds, not hundreds, thousands of we call Siam Portuguese, Siamese Portuguese, which is a half Portuguese residents to become his military that fleeing with him into the settlement in Canterbury, some of the province in the east, just to make a military camp, just to come back and defeating the war. And after they coming back, this story is telling that there's also a Catholic church in that area, and all the nuns has become a nurse at that time to help the military to defeat the war and take back the cities of Ayutthaya. But it means after the King Taksin is coming back from Ayutthaya, he found that the city is being destroyed and too much to reconstruct the cities to become a capital of Thailand. So he decided to move the city, the capital, to the south as the Gulf of the Thai Gulf, the mouth of the river, which is located at the Thai Gulf. Which is the location of Bangkok at the moment. But the Kudichin communities, the Portuguese village, is not inside the city. It's like in tradition of Ayutthaya, the foreign spoiled village would be located outside the city wall. And this is the same things that why Kudichin village has been settled on the south of the cities. At that time, of course, because there's no place better than behind the fort that's already built in the late 18th centuries. So this is the plan of the fort built, but not by the Portuguese, but by the Greek engineer. The ones on top is been built, but the one on the bottom is not built. They made a fort since Ayutthaya period and put a chain boom, which is a big chain across the river, just to make the gateway to control the access to the old cities of Ayutthaya. Because of that fort, the palace of King Taksin has been established behind the fort and surrounded by the people living outside the palace. And at that time, because of the loyalties of Portuguese soldier that helped him defeating the war, there's a couple of hundreds of Portuguese and Chinese people coming back with him. So he given this piece of land to the Portuguese community at that time. So at the moment, we are living in this part, and all the land that we live in is not belong to us. We are not our own land. All the piece of land should still belong to the missionary of Bangkok, which taken over the Portuguese village at that time. That's because the Portuguese communities doesn't have any organizations to accept that land to become a part of that. But it means the church is the center of everything. So the priest who has the ownership of their church. And also, that's why this piece of land has been taken and now owned by the missionary of Bangkok. So now, even our house, the place that we live in, so we not own that piece of land, so we pay the rent to the missionary of Bangkok. This part, you see the little spot at the orange spot. It's a church. It's called Santa Cruz, which is root from the Portuguese language. At the beginnings, the church has been constructed very simple because at that time the king doesn't have a much money because of the war and everything. So the city's been settled in a very simple way. And this part, he gives some piece of money to build the church. The beginnings of the church is a wooden and with thatched roofs, very temporary and very small, that just accommodate their activities for the Catholic people. And the second period, the church has been rebuilt in terms of bricks and wall bearings. It looks like a Chinese, so that may becomes the assumptions of the names of the village. There's two assumptions. One thing is that in the areas there's already a Chinese tribe. The word Kudichin, Chin is mean China, Chinese. Gudi is a Thai word, a very old Thai word, calling the temple, which is not the Buddhist temple. So in Buddhist temple we call Wat, but it means the other religious temple we call Gudi. So Kudichin means Chinese temple. There's two assumptions. One thing is that there's already Chinese temple in there, and another assumption is that because the second Santa Cruz church is very look like the Chinese tribe, it's kind of have a gable roof with a lot of decorations. We don't find any evidence to see the real detail of that church, but it means somebody said the plaster of work of the cement plaster it's look like rococo or maybe the Chinese elements. This is a very old picture in the late 19th centuries about the governors visiting the second church of Santa Cruz with the people surrounding him. So the church is very big and because of it's so big and located and in the front of river, I think it's not strong enough to withstand the weather and the collapse of the land along the river. So in that part, so we rebuilt the church in almost 100 years ago. This is a picture taken in from the Chapia River. You see a lot of houses has been gathering along the canals, and the difference of the Catholic communities with Thai communities is that the way they arrange the arrangement of the village is different. So Thai people tend to live in a linear along the waterway, and because they didn't come to the temples every week like Catholic did, so they just use the boat to go to the temple, the Buddhist temple, and they didn't go every day or every week. So they just go like once a month or twice a month. But I mean, the Catholic peoples have to go to the church every day. So that's why the Catholic communities had a lot of labyrinthine walkway around the church. So because people have to come to the church every week and every Sunday at least, but I mean for the elderly they come every day. So it has to be very convenient to go to the church. So the gatherings of their village is kind of a village, European village that gathering around the Santa Cruz church. And the picture on the top left is showing the third church that built to replace the second one, which is has been damaged by the collapse of the soil in front of the river. This one is built by Italian. It's not built by Portuguese architects, but built by Italian, designed by Italian architect. Is a way of neoclassic things, similar to the church in Poland. And this is again a picture at the same spot, looking to the Kudichin communities. You can see a lot of house and with the church in the center of their living. So this is a present picture of the village now. A Chinese child that I said before. This is the oldest structure in the area. Maybe the reason that's why the area is called Kudichin. And the ones if you look at the picture on the right hand side, you see the big trees, and that is our house and our little museums, just very small white buildings on the right side of that bush. So I would like to starting to explain why the village is well known to become a Portuguese village at the moment. It's starting in about 2010 when the Association of Chinese Architects, the architects of Thailand, and with my university, the Chulalongkorn University, want to do the cultural map of this area because they know that there's so many heritage buildings in that part. So they want to make sure and to make sure that they have a map that contains evidence of the heritage building. When we start with to do the workshop with people who live in there, just to make sure that they give us an information about the heritage in that area. This is the map that they are looking for, the map that record the architecture and the very important heritage in this part. But I mean, after they talking to people who live in the village, what they found out is that the heritage is not a tangible one, but also the intangible things that are hidden in the village. A lot of things like the recipe of the food, the cupcake that has been transformed, because in Thailand we don't have a butter or even the wheat. So we use rice, flour, and use the eggs, yolk, to produce the cupcakes. It's very famous now. It's called Kudichin cupcake. And there's a lot of things that a lot of indigo dyeing fabric that also the knowledge of the area. And there's a lot of activities of the religious, not only Catholic, but also every religious that surrounding it, because it's a mix of the a culture of people that living all close together, Muslim and Buddhist, and also the Catholic and even the Chinese tribe. They are located very close to each other, and they are living together as a neighborhood. Not even that, there's a lot of important person that live in this area. None of this is a Portuguese, but I mean, in Thai history, this person is very important because this carry a lot of things into the Thai culture. You may know one of these. On the ones on the left hand side is Anna Leonowens, as with is Anna and the King, which is a very famous play of the world now. So she lived in this area. And very important that there's a very strong Catholic religious traditions that is still going on right now. We just passed this ceremony because the compositions from the cross in the Good Friday before the Easter. And our families has a duties for almost 100 years to make a flower blanket to cover the Jesus Christ. And this is the image of the ceremony that we made at the Good Friday night. We have a statues of Jesus Christ put in the cross, and then take him down to show him to the Virgin Mary, and just put him into the church to make the mass after that. And after that, it's become a very good map, not only a tangible things, but also intangibles, the unseen things that also the hidden culture of this area. And the area is starting to be known because we got a lot of influence from the Portuguese culture that's transformed into the Thai culture at the moment. It's starting to be well known worldwide. The French come to do the articles in the journals, and the Bangkok metropolitans looking to this area and understand that this is a very old and very historical part of Bangkok, and have a plan to develop this area to become a tourist attraction. They have a plan to build the walkway along the river, just to make sure that the tourists and people can visit the area easier. And they even make the sky gardens across the river, that's to connect the west side into the east side of Bangkok. And at that part, our families want to do some things, just to do the archive, that people can come to study about the story of their Portuguese ancestor in this part. Starting because not only we want to collect the information about this, but because the village starting to be declined, because when the area is inaccessible by car, people have to walk, and it's very dense community, and it's starting to be starting to have a bad environment around it. So our families, one thing is afraid that our kids, our boys and girls, could leave the village and left this village still unknown. So we have to find some things that's to make sure that they value this one and they understand the history of this part. So we started to build the museum, a little museum here called Kudichin Museum. This is a picture of my sister-in-law, my sister of my wife. Um, she's last name is Dandara Nanda. This is a list of Thai family name that's transformed from the Portuguese family name. It's recorded in the Royal Archive because all the family name in Thai has been given by the King Rama VI. Uh, at that time, I mean, in Thai culture, they want to switch all the foreign name into Thai because nationalities, things that they want to promote for Thai peoples. So they given last name for peoples, and they record that all this of this last name has originated by the Portuguese family name here. This is a picture of the people at that time. This is the house of the grandfather and the marriage of my mother-in-law. The little kid is the Kundavini, which is the museum owner who lived all of her life in this village. And the picture up there is our aunts who sit in the front of the house that given to us to make a museum at the moment. So this is the picture of the house. It's starting to be, in a very bad condition at the moment, and the environment of the village is not very good. So we asked the missionary of the Bangkok to have a permission to do the museum by this house. So starting to study on the details and the elements of the house, and we hired the local contractor to lift up the house 1 meter, 1.5 meter higher, just to make sure that we have the underground for the cafe. Uh, and we do the public hearing with the people in the village, just to make sure that they understand what are we doing, and they can prepare for the things that are going to happen in the future. That's the plan of the house, because I'm an architect and my brother-in-law is an engineer, so it's easy for us to do anything. We're starting to do the logo of the museums, transforming from Galo de Basilos, which is the character of Portuguese thing, but it means transform it by using the character of Thai. You see the chickens, and on the right, it's been transformed from Galo de Basilos. And everyone is asking why chickens? Because it's transforming from Galo de Basilos. Put a little, necklace just to make sure that it's a lily that represents the Catholic community. the rooster is walking in front because we want the village is go further in the future and left the egg for the kids and the younger generations to carry on like this. But the thing that everyone come and ask me is that why the rooster has eggs. So the answer that I cannot answer. So that's for strategic plan making a Kudichin museums conserving and promoting cultural heritage, which are Siamese Portuguese community, improving living environments for residents and visitors, using tourism to enhance the community economies and making valuable assets for the next generations. And now it's become well known worldwide. And Time Out Thailand has come and say that it is a Portuguese footprint of Bangkok. So we do a lot of things, do use a lot of elements, which is a mixture of Thai and Portuguese altogether. This is the interior of the museum now. We are starting this talking about the story of how Portuguese has come to Thailand in their history and showing them the furnitures and kitchen stuff that belong to our ancestor, just to show how that they lived in the past and all the things that we used to be in our culture. This is a picture before and after. So you see it's better environment here as a garbage land, and we turn it into the nice garden for people to have a good sitting in the cafe here. So it's published in so many languages and very well known for tourists that come to Thailand. Just become a place for students to come and study and do a research or thesis in the footprints of this culture. It's very strange that in Thailand, the ambassador has given us as one of the Portuguese cultural center of Thailand. I can understand that because there's no cultural center in Thailand except us. So every ambassador has come to visit us. So we are playing with Portuguese and costume and in special occasions. And this is how the village has been transformed after we built the museums and become very nice village. Everyone's improving their house and have economies from the selling foods and drinks in the village. And it's very good that we bringing people together, bringing family together. And this is what we are very happy after we got the museum here. Because I don't have a performance in Thailand with us, but I can give you a sound from Santa Cruz bell. This is only two churches that have this kind of Garion bell that playing music at the Santa Cruz. So the control room, can you please playing the music, please? Oh, this is so the bell is in the broad window of the church, and this old man is still playing this every day for us. So yeah. Lastly, I think there's a message from Kundalini, who is the owner of the museums, as the daughter of Portuguese ancestor. Want to greeting to you, everyone, and I'd like to say thank you very much for a very beautiful shirt here.
Voilà, I do. Just trong tôi được về còn sợ quý đi alligator.
So every one of you is welcome to Kudichin Museum in Visit Bangkok. Thank you.